Crowder, checking back in with another edition of History You May Not Know, or History that we have not been taught in detail entirely about. Today's lesson is going all the way back to 1863 in the greater New York City metropolitan area. This issue came about because of draft riots were complex. They were anti-black, anti-rich, and anti-Republican. If you have not learned yet in these historical cities, most Black Americans at this time were Republicans and Black pride. The assault was really happening in the beginning because Black people at around this time that were affluent in their community were being assaulted for no particular reason. The word spread around quick that these people were being assaulted by Irish and other poor whites in town. The reason why the marches began to go throughout the streets were because factories were forced to close, recruiting more members from the mob who have resentment and anti-Black sentiments. The one thing that really sparked this riot and this confusion from going up in flames was that a colored, or Black mostly, orphanage was set on fire. When it was set on fire, you saw Blacks leaving the orphanage and they were shot, burned, and hanged around the street. Now I want you to think about this for a second. A home housing young adults and children was burned down because of an anti-Black ideology. Once people around the town heard of this travesty, you began to see mayhem began to spread. Remember, they took bedding, food, and other supplies from the orphanage after this burning occurred, and they were forcing those who left and survived the orphanage to go into many different places. Even around this time, they were throwing Black people that couldn't swim into the river so they can drown. It's pure mayhem, y'all. We got death, we got fire, we got burning, we have anarchy, all in the greater city of New York City happening. On the fourth day of this incident, the Union troops were returning home from the Battle of Gettysburg. Mind you, this is in the heart of the Civil War. When they returned back from the Civil War, after they were fighting the Confederate soldiers, they returned back to the city of New York to saw over 400 to 500 people died. No exact figures were actually given, but people knew that these people were having a civil war while in the middle of a civil war fighting the secession of the South. This part of history is things we should talk about, how many times we have had conflict and battle and turmoil in this country. Black and Irish immigrants were neck and neck. The Irish immigrants who were in this country were trying to get jobs and fighting the Black Americans who were just leaving chattel slavery. The riots began quickly after the lottery remained, y'all. But the riots continued to go. It was said that over 3,000 to 4,000 Black Americans at this time were displaced and mostly homeless. So let's think about it, y'all. A riot happened, people were killed, an orphanage was burned down, and the Black citizens were left without a place to stay. After they were left without a place to stay, you began to see them migrating to family members down south and leaving the greater New York metropolitan area. History will still label this incident as a draft day riot of 1863 because people did not want to go fight in the Civil War. But I wanted to highlight this snapshot of American history to know that we have constantly been in conflict, battle, and had issues from an internal perspective. Whenever we think about Black history, we never give it from that snapshot and lens. We need to discuss turmoil going in. Wow, we're fighting a turmoil in the South. It was so much conflict. America has always had a bloody past, and we should teach and coach and train the story of U.S. history. It's your boy King Crowder chiming back out again, y'all, for another nugget and lesson. Please add that to your memory bank. Please understand where you see these cycles, how they rinse, wash, and repeat, and why this information is important. Peace.